there, everybody. Welcome back to The Secret Place with Stephanie Bennett. I'm here today to share a little something more with you from one of my very favorite books, A Testament of Devotion by Thomas Kelly. If you've been listening long or tuning into The Secret Place for some time, you'll recognize that name and this little book because it's something I just cannot get away from. Do you ever have one of those books or texts? Of course, we have the scriptures, but do you ever have a book by an author that you just go back to again and again and it feeds your soul? Yeah, that's what this book has done for me for the last 20 some odd years. And I am forever grateful for some professors, my dear professors, Darlene and Michael Graves, to showing me this book, Introduction by Richard Foster. Today, I'm going to share a paragraph where Kelly is talking, basically he's talking to mature believers, people who have really experienced a great deal of transformation of their soul, a great deal of change of behavior, heart attitude change, people who are farther along in their walk, we might say, with the Lord than a newbie, right? And he is in some ways lamenting a little bit, but more than that, he's just peeling away the layers of what happens when we are in that situation and we find ourselves once again with our face up to the window, the window of our heart, seeing darkness and seeing shadows and how much that hurts and what that can do to us. He says, and he's talking about detachment and pride. He says, again, we have quailed and been tormented in our obscurity. We have fretted and been anxious because of our limitations, set by our own nature and by our surroundings. The tasks are so great, and we have accomplished so little and been assigned with such lowly talents and occupations. But instructed in one point of view of the paradox, we bestride the mountains or the valleys. I have so many colors of highlighting here that it's hard for me to read it. Okay. The tasks are so great and we have accomplished so little and been assigned such lowly talents and occupations, but instructed in one point of view of the paradox, we bestride the mountains or the valleys of earthly importance with a holy indifference, contempt, and detachment, placed in coveted surroundings, recipients of honors. We count them as refuse, as nothing, as utterly nothing. Placed in the shadows, we are happy to pick up a straw for the love of God. No task is too small to distress us, so small as to distress us. No honor so great as to turn our heads. Such loosening of the chains of attachment is easy if we be given times of a sense of unutterable nearness to himself. In those moments, what we would not leave for him. What mean honors or dishonors, comforts or wants in him. Yeah. Are you there? That place where you could pick up a straw for God and it means the world. You don't care at all about the honors you've been given, or maybe that you haven't been given that you want. The pride has been decimated, and you walk in a holy leisure, in a freedom, in a joy that just comes from being detached to earthly goods and earthly titles and such. It's a wonderful thing. And, if you've been walking in that for a while, you'll understand how unbelievably upending it can be. And you can feel when all of a sudden the Lord makes you aware, or something makes you aware of that attachment. Those claws of honor and recognition start coming at you and want your heart again. It's distressing. It's distressing. But I read this to you because I want to remind you, dear viewer, listener, companion on the way, that you are not alone if you are experiencing this. I experienced this. It's been 48 years. Yeah, I'm very old. It's been 48 years since I've said, yes, Father, I want to follow you. I want to go your way in the name of Jesus. I want Jesus. And I want to be your follower. I want to love you. It's been 48 years for me. And I still deal with this. I do not know anyone who doesn't deal with it. But I'll tell you this, we don't really talk about it, do we? That's why I'm talking about it here. Thomas Kelly was brave enough to talk about it. He was such a giant of the faith, and yet he struggled with that from time to time too. So I just want to let you know that we all know that perfection in this life is impossible. Those of us that pursue perfection are always slammed down because perfection will never come. I have a couple friends who tell me who really, really deal with that perfectionistic quality. If you see my house and you see my office, you know that I don't deal with that. I know I'm not perfect, but I have other faults and other weaknesses and other wounds and other things that drag me back into that place where it's shadowy instead of brilliant light. And that comes from being attached maybe 10 times in a row. You can turn the other way and not even consider the fact that you weren't chosen for an honor, or you weren't chosen for a job that you interviewed, or you were overlooked, or you were not given the better office, or whatever it is. So many things you could just turn your head and not care. And then all of a sudden that one little thing comes, and for some reason it pricks you. It gets to you right in the center of your heart, and you start to feel low, and you start to feel the why mushroom up. You know how mushrooms just pop up overnight, right? It starts to pop up in your heart, that sense of why not me? Why him, not me? Why her, not me? Or it can get even deeper and go worse. What's wrong with me? Why don't I cut it? And boy, it's such a tactic. It's such a lose-lose situation when you go there. It's just best to just struggle through like Jacob did with the angel of the Lord, and just move, continue to move in the torment of that with the Lord by your side, giving it to him, saying, confessing it. I'm here, Lord. I wanted that and I didn't get it, and I'm angry or I'm resentful. And confess that. We're not too old to confess. It's not just for children. It's not just for babies. It's not for toddlers learning how to walk, teenagers who are rebellious. All of us, our whole life long, do well to take a look at what's going on inside. And if there's something that's out of sorts, bring it before the Lord. Why am I feeling this way, God? Why am I bothered by this man? Why am I bothered by this situation? Forgive me, show me, heal me, open my eyes. And we continue on in that beautiful life of transformation where we can continue to detach, not in passivity or in uncaring, but detach from the things of this world, the importance that we place on them for recognitions and honors and being included and such. It opens up a space, as hard as it is to deal with. I speak from experience. It opens up a space to get even closer to the Lord, to bare our soul, to let him hear our tears, and to confess it, to say it out loud, even to someone else as well, besides the Lord, to say, I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with this. That will tear down your pride. If you're struggling with pride, that will tear down the pride. So it's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. Well, that's it for today from The Secret Place. I am so glad you came, and I'd love to hear your perspective on this. I'd love to read your comments and open a dialogue with you if you would like, if you have a question or if you have something more to add, something that you've seen in your experience or something that the Lord has shown you. Right. Stay. Come back again. Thanks a lot, and have a wonderful day. Bless you. Bye now.